Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And today is Women's Day. Sending you love and light today, Women's Day. And I did not know it was Women's Day today. Otherwise I would have prepared a video. I went to bed in a purple PJs, and when I woke up I saw purple all over my computer screen and was wondering what's going on, only to find out that it is Women's Day. So I was dressed for the part. So yes, happy Women's Day to all the women out there, and of course the girls, right? Why are we celebrating Women's Day? Let's find out why, just to get everyone up to speed for those who do not know. So on the eve of World War I in 1913, Russian women observed their first International Women's Day on February 23rd. International Women's Day was soon after agreed to be marked annually on March the 8th. The color purple has been used as a symbol of feminism and women's rights since the very beginning of the movement, right? So I love the color purple anyway, so it's the right color here for me. So why do we celebrate Women's Day? Equality and discrimination are rampant in our societies, and most of the time women are victims of them. So to fight these gender biases and to bring attention to issues as gender equality, reproductive rights, and violence and abuse against women, they celebrate. Happy Women's Day to all the women across the world, and keep on fighting, keep on having that unity, and of course keep on pushing your agendas forward. We're going to move on, and we're going to highlight some women in the society. And the first one, the one that I want to highlight, I'm just in awe of this lady. So many women that we can talk about, but I'm just going to pick 3 women, right? Of course, Miss Barbara GLOUDON is not with us anymore. Neither is Nanny, but I still felt the need to highlight them for the things that they have done for us. It's such an impact, a mark. We are so grateful for what they've done during their time here on earth. So let's start with Nanny of the Maroons. Queen Nanny, as we know her, we know that they call her Nanny, Nanny of the Maroons, Nana, all of that. And we're just going to give a short synopsis about Nanny, so we cannot go into detail. So Queen Nanny was a military strategist. She was a spiritual advisor, and she was a war general. She was also a herbalist, very knowledgeable in herbs and how to use them, the amount to use, and when to use it. So she must have, been studying these herbs and all of that for a long time, right? And some of the herbs and plants that we have in Jamaica, we also know that these herbs and plants are in West Africa as well. Nanny led her people from their base camp of Nanny Town in the rugged Blue Mountains of eastern Jamaica, so that's Portland, more like Portland area, that's where she was based, to repeated victories against the British at the height of the world domination. So that happened between 1724 and 1739. So she was born about 1686 and maybe passed away around the 1730s. She was, of course, the 18th century leader of the Jamaican Winward Maroons. So Nanny was in charge. She was the general. She was the military strategist, even if she was not physically involved in the wars. She planned out everything. She selected the soldiers or the rebels, and of course she would have trained them as well. She introduced the camouflage, and that was the first time camouflage was being used in the Western Hemisphere, and that is because of the Maroons. And Kwaho would have consulted with her regarding the peace treaty. My readings, because I love to read, I fell upon this book. It was written by a Lieutenant, Philip Thickness, was in Jamaica in the height of the Maroon War, right? And of course, he recorded Nanny's words. I did not know about this until I, of course, read this book. And it was astonishing to know that this gentleman actually recorded Nanny's words. And basically, she said that you bring Bakra, Fitek the town, off with their HEADS, right? So that was Nanny's words. So she was protecting her people. She was very maternal and always looking to protect her people first and foremost, right? So of course they're up in the hills, and they will spot anybody from miles and miles away, and they will know when they're coming. They will of course be communicating with their bang. They can tell you how many soldiers, where are the lieutenants, where are the people with authority in that line, how many of them that, right, as military people. And they knew where they would be passing. There are people with rank in that lineup, and they know every rock, every little creek, every river, everything that they're going to pass through, and what will impede them, and how they can prevent them from coming, and all of that, and where they would meet them and everything like that. They knew that like hours before they even reached to where they were. Lady, she is above and beyond and should be in some type of war museum, right? Her thing is not normal. A lot of Jamaicans don't know, but there was a fierce war, more than one, on that Spanish River in Portland, right? And the Maroons won that encounter, hands down, not even losing one soldier, right? Nanny, of course, she was the one who passed the judgment and all of that when anyone was captured. I salute this lady. She defended her people, faced adversity after adversity after adversity. Even when they burned down her town, she went somewhere else and started a new settlement. They gave her land for her and her people to live in peace, right? In the end, he consulted with her, and of course she declined to sign any type of treaty. And then once she heard that Kodjo in St. Elizabeth signed the treaty, she felt a little bit pressured. Of course, Kwao probably would have said to her, hey, Kodjo signed, we don't want to be doing this thing alone. Children are dying, they need food, we can't continue this war. They decided, when your back is against the wall, not that she wanted to end the war, but of course her other lieutenants were telling her this, telling her that, and all of that, and what's going on, right? So in the end, she probably just caved in, and Kwaho, not Nanny, signed that peace treaty just after the one that was signed in St. Elizabeth. Queen Nanny of the Maroons. You know what it's like. Look out for your people and to stand up for them in all types of adversity. Going through hunger, going through mosquito bites, and all of that, and you stood up and you performed like a soldier. So performed as a soldier should. In times of crisis, she was always there for her people. So we salute Queen Nanny on International Women's Day. So the next person that I would like to speak about is Miss Barbara GLOUDON. Barbara GLOUDON, growing up in Jamaica, I always remember Miss GLOUDON being on the radio, and your parents are listening to the radio, and of course you're in your uniform or you're coming in for lunch or something like that, and the radio is going on and Miss GLOUDON's voice is there. It's something that you grew up with and always expected to be there. It's a type of staple, right? So Barbara Joy GLOUDON, Order of Distinction, Order of Jamaica, and IOJ was a Jamaican journalist, author, playwright, and theater chair, as well as having a distinguished career as a journalist. So she was born on February 5th, 1935 in Malvern, Jamaica, right? So I believe Malvern is in St. Elizabeth. She died on May the 11th on 2022. So she only passed away last year. So in 3 days will be the death anniversary of Miss GLOUDON. And I just picked her. I didn't even realize that her passing anniversary is coming up, right? So we are doing this to show respects to Miss Barbara GLOUDON, how she helped the people of lesser means in Jamaica, especially the mothers, right? And it's so appropriate to do this today as well. So Miss Barbara GLOUDON was a towering figure in the Jamaican media and theater world, where she was affectionately known as Miss G. She died in a Kingston hospital on the night of May the 11th. So she died the same day as Bob Marley, born in 1935 to a family of 9 children in the Highland area of Malvern, St. Elizabeth. Her father was a car mechanic and a chauffeur. Her family relocated to Kingston, where she grew up attending St. George's Infant and Primary School, and then St. Andrew High School for girls. From an early age, she's apparently had a dynamic personality. Her sister, Jamaica's poet, Lorna Goodison. I did not know that they were sisters. I love Lorna Goodison books. I spoke about her sister who was employed at the Gleaner. So this must have been Miss GLOUDON. Somehow she resonated with my childhood, and I would sit and listen to Miss GLOUDON helping all these people from all walks of life. So salute to Miss Barbara GLOUDON. Huge radio personality in Jamaica, always there, helping people, everybody all across Jamaica. They would call in for help, and Miss GLOUDON would listen to their issues, their problems, and of course, if she's able to, she will either connect them with the right person or seek out help for them. And I'm sure she would be doing a lot of personal help as well. I know for a fact that a lot of people, who have lost limbs, Miss GLOUDON actually made it possible for them to get a leg or an arm. Or she's gone ahead of us, but we are showing respects and, of course, remembrance to Miss GLOUDON at this time. Okay, so we're going to move on to the third person, is an author. So last but not least, Nicola YOON is a Jamaican American author. She is best known for writing the 2015 young adult movie Everything, Everything, a New York Times bestseller, and the basis of a 2017 film of the same name in 2016. She released The Sun is Also a Star, a novel that was adapted to film of the same name. So she has several books out. The Sun is Also a Star, and she's also one of the authors on Blackout. There's a number of them on that particular book. You can check them out, and instructions for dancing, and the one that we mentioned earlier, Everything, Everything. 2 of her books made it to movies, and she was born in Jamaica. So this is an awesome achievement, and we're going to recognize Nicola YOON as well. So she is a best-selling author, a National Book Award finalist, a Michael L. Prince Honor Book recipient, Scott King New Talent Award winner, and the first Black woman to hit #1 on the New York Times Young Adult Bestseller list. 2 of her novels, as I mentioned, made it to major motion pictures. Salute to Nicola YOON, a Jamaican American author, on this Women's Day. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for all the support. It is appreciated. Please remember to hit the like button so that the video can be promoted on YouTube. Take care of yourself and others. Bye for now. See you on the next video.